are some lies in our science books. Taught it for 15 years. Even though I'm not teaching it anymore, I still like the study. It's so many neat things to learn. We're going to cover some of that tonight.
Perception is being managed. We are being steered and guided by a hidden hand.
The whole world has been duped by the media that is not real.
Smart thinking, possible time traveler, smart thinking.
That night, boom, contact memory.
And then, Alex, if you don't agree, you'll be sent to a re-education camp.
Just because I'm old doesn't mean I've lost my touch with the ladies.
A lot of people here tonight felt like they lost. You know why?
Now, experts are suggesting that we're in a golden age of shape-shifting reptilian sightings. Now, why is that?
I was, and still am, a huge conspiracy guy. I literally ran out of new tin hat topics to research.
It was most definitely not capable of melting steel.
Then I would be a crackpot if I thought that was the case.
Thought that was the case.
Welcome to the Hypothetical Institute, a podcast about conspiracy theories.
My name is Luke.
I'm Salt.
I'm Cam. Salty, it's good to have you back.
Hey, how you doing?
Whole gang's back together.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This week, we thought we're all about...
No little chit-chat, no banters.
No bants. We're going to get right into it.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I thought,
focused.
I thought it'd be fun.
We're at our best when we're laser focused. Anyway, go.
As the gang's all back, let's do a fun one about pedophiles. No, we're actually we're doing a little podcast about the Disney grooming conspiracy theory.
What is this one?
Okay, groomer.
Okay, groomer. Jeez.
This is the conspiracy theory that is red hot in conservative circles in the US at the moment, and soon I'm sure to come into our shores, just as every other culture war front in the culture war does. It's this conspiracy theory that Disney, and sort of also by extension the woke left, are grooming children. They're sort of playing a few semantic games. I think if anyone were to take them to court, they would say, "Oh, we're using a very broad idea of what it means to groom somebody," but they absolutely mean when they say we want people to think that this person is a pedophile.
Right.
Yeah. They're sort of saying we're grooming kids to be part of the sort of trans and LGBTQI agenda that they're also afraid of.
Yeah.
And they're saying that Disney's grooming them to do this, but that choice of word is very loaded with all sorts of issues. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say one of the things it's loaded with is, the shared understanding of everybody in the world about what it means.
Yes.
So they're being a little bit tricky. And yeah, I think you also, you hit the nail on the head, Robbo. It's started out as being about trans stuff. And then as it has gone on, they have sort of revealed the true agenda, which is that every single sort of LGBT thing is going to be coming under this attack.
Yes. Yeah. What the American right are just getting out of control, because this sounds like this would be a fringe theory. Say if we were talking about this in 2014, we'd be like, oh yeah, this is an InfoWars thing. And InfoWars, I guess, has been pushing. There's drag queen story time, which is kind of big in some libraries where they'll get a drag queen to read a kid's book. And Alex Jones has been huge on that over the years, as grooming kids to whatever. So it's sort of not new. It's been kind of bouncing around that world for a while. But the fact that people that are in positions of power, senators and mainstream media relative are all in on it. It's pretty like, oh right, okay, you're all pretty fucking cooked now.
Yeah,
or you're always cooked. You're just saying it publicly now.
I did see one of the best things for a while just today. Let me just find it. It was a gubernatorial candidate in the States, Candace Taylor, who's running to be governor of Georgia, tweeted, the furry days are over when I'm governor.
So furries are gone.
Yeah. The fairy days are over when I'm governor. Public school is for academics, not fairy tales. And that sort of comes from this, I guess, like a side quest of all of this, which is that there's this massive anti-trans and then anti-gay and lesbian campaign going on. And then just by virtue of existing, the poor furries have gotten dragged into it for absolutely no reason.
Look, there are a lot of furries that are, great people. As a community as a whole, they're pretty good.
I have a couple in my streaming community.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be shitting on the furry community. However, there has been a lot of issues over the years within the furry community that it's surprising that it's probably not surprising that the American right is attaching them to this. Even Disney's involved and all that.
Well, so where the furries are actually coming into this, though, is that there have been a few stories over the past few months, and I think this even got a run in Australian media, that there were schools that were allowing furry students to have litter boxes and stuff like that.
Man, that is crack for right wing media, isn't it? That is crack for most. They're just gonna be fucking. What's that? Is it Willem Dafoe? That gift is just fucking hoofing on a joint or whatever. And give that to Murdoch Press.
Oh, it's Matthew McConaughey.
No. Oh, there is that one.
Yeah.
No, there is that one. There's two. Anyway, beside the point.
Anyway, so this was a thing that started in the States. Some crazy right winger, maybe even a politician, got up and said, parents have emailed me about this. It's you need to check this stuff out before you say it. It was a completely made up story. And yet it ended up in the Courier Mail in Brisbane that it had happened in Brisbane schools. And it's of course that's not happening.
You can see though. Oh man, that's one of those ones when people say, "Oh, look at this thing that's happening," and then people point out, "Oh, it's not happening at all." Don't be fucking weird. And then they go, "Well, it could happen."
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay mad at it anyway.
So I guess the origins of the Disney groomer thing. So Disney have become a real focal point of this whole thing that's going on. So there's this sort of broader anti-trans, anti-gay culture war happening, and Disney is the new front in it. It's all happening because there's this legislation being passed in Florida. They call it the "Don't Say Gay" law, which is about, the idea is that they don't want teachers, telling kids about gay stuff. There's this massive disconnect between the sort of conversation that I think they imagine is happening and anything that might ever actually happen. So what this effectively shuts down is some kid what kids in class are like. I know what kids in class are like because I used to be a child that went to a class. And besides the fact that children are naturally inquisitive, the whole point of school is, how long do you go to school for? 13 years? It's 13 years of every day trying to find something to ask a teacher about so that you don't have to learn things. So kids are naturally inquisitive, and they know that they can ask teachers about their personal lives. And so they who's your husband? Who's your wife? Blah, blah, blah. We don't care. As children, we don't care about these things, but we know that we can get people talking. And so, I guess some teachers are going to say, well, I don't have a wife, I have a husband, or I don't have a husband, I have a wife. There's a bit of a the doctor was a woman situation, because sometimes a bloke can have a husband.
Yeah.
And so that's the convo that's happening. That's what they do want to shut down. They don't want gay people to have any sort of public life because they want to make it so toxic that they think that a young gay child will just be like, oh yeah, that's not for me. I'll just repress it, because that's worked so well over the years. But so I think that in their heads, though, that they think that some kid's like, oh, who's your wife? And they're like, well, I don't have a wife. I've got a husband, and we love anal play. We're salad queens.
I don't know the terminology, but I don't need you to explain it.
You are going to find out the terminology salad queen, Robbo, because this was the fucking funniest thing I saw all day. Let me just bring it up. The Heinz Sauce Corporation brought out a new sauce in the UK, a salad dressing, in honor of the, the Queen.
Yep.
And it's called Salad Queen. And somebody tweeted at them, it's the Platinum Jubilee edition Heinz Salad Queen salad cream.
Right.
Yeah, okay, because it rhymes because Britain has something called salad cream as a dressing.
And
Delicious.
And Salad Queen rhymes with salad cream. And so they've put this sauce out, and someone tweeted at them, do you think that when they did this, they knew that Salad Queen is gay lingo in the States for someone who likes eating asses? And the Heinz Sauce Corporation replied, we did not know that, but every day's a school day.
That's good. That's good.
I love when people don't Google things.
Because I just Googled Salad Queen, looking for some ass-eating gifs, and I've just got the Salad Queen 1 Instagram. No.
You found what you're looking for?
Yeah, it's just salads. 276 followers. Okay, so the Salad Queen 1 on Instagram is the top result for Salad Queen.
Yeah.
They only have 276 followers. Are you saying that this is such a common term in the gay industry that they can't even topple the Salad Queen 1 with only that? You know what I mean? Like, it's not, Urban Dictionary definition isn't even that. There's not a gay magazine that tops that low engagement Instagram account.
I think
I don't buy it.
Maybe people just love salad so much that it's toppled it.
Yeah.
Is it in the Urban Dictionary?
It is.
When was it made?
The first thing that come up is 2005, a term used to describe a Mardi bitch who presides over the salad bar of any given accommodation refectory provided for first-year university students.
Yeah, I've just Googled...
the second one. Okay, the second one hits.
And when was that made?
But the May 1st, 2022.
Yeah.
All right. You know
Yesterday.
what? Perhaps we should call shenanigans.
I'm calling shenanigans. I've Googled
shenanigans.
Salad Queen gay slang, and the top result is Heinz. The second one is Green's Dictionary of Slang, which salad is a coward. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we've just busted a myth, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. A gay man who enjoys analingus.
Yes, but that's the one we're talking about. That's from like a few days ago.
No, this is Green's dictofslang.com. I've never even come across this.
Oh, okay.
But their citation, hang on, this is interesting. This is from 2003.
Well, now we're talking.
See, maybe it's just been that much of a niche community niche term that it hadn't made its way to the Urban Dictionary.
All right. Myth unbusted.
I'm saying myth busted. I think this is way too niche. Like, we're actively going and looking for it, and we're not finding it really what we're looking for.
You found it in 2003.
Yeah, but this is some...
You have to dig a bit deeper than just...
Yeah,
Googling
you know what
it.
I mean? Like, if Heinz Googled it, they would have got the Salad Queen 1 Instagram.
Here we go. No, it's salading is on Urban Dictionary.
Salading.
Oh,
so are we saying any company that has anything salad in their name is treading on gay slang now? Is that what we're saying? They should know.
Anyway.
When I Google the word salading, the first thing that comes up is the Collins Dictionary. Salading definition, the ingredients for a salad.
Hang on, if we set Salad Queen, because now I've Googled, I put quotation marks, I'm just getting articles about this.
Also, this entry in Green's Dictionary of Slang for Salad Queen comes from a book, Robbo.
Yeah.
A book that has been published.
What book?
Gale, The Language of Kinks and Queens by Ken Page, published 2003.
Yeah.
Cited 385 times. So, Robbo, if it's made it into a book, it's a real thing.
It's a very niche book, though.
Yeah. It's fine to be niche. Anyway.
Hang on.
The point is,
okay. I've got a...
No. I'm going to cut a lot of this out.
No, this is good. We're busting myths here.
All companies, I think, should Google whatever they want to make it. They should Google, like, the name and then sex thing after it. Because
I've just set Google search to go 1st of Jan 2000 to 1st of Jan 2022 to predate this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Salad Queen, gay slang, nothing that is from prior to that.
Right.
So I am calling this, they've been shenaniganed.
Shenaniganed?
Yeah. shenanigans.
Here is an academic paper from 1999 that makes reference to it.
Read out the reference, please.
I'm just downloading the paper.
Okay.
This is such a large paper that it needs to be downloaded.
It's almost this. Is it a PDF?
It is a PDF.
It's probably the size of a book, by the sounds of it.
It could be. All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Submitted as partial fulfillment for a degree, Robbo. Can you remind me what your degree is in?
I mean, the School of Hard Knocks, obviously.
Yep. Salad Queen, a man who enjoys rimming as part of his sexual activity. Origin, American gay speak. Limited usage in South Africa, where the term rim queen is more popular.
Yeah, I think we have to go pretty deep. I'm saying Heinz, the old, they should have Googled it, does not apply in this case.
This is on
they are well within their rights to use it, because if it's only in like 2 places we can find prior to this.
It's on page 99. Well, no, not everything gets put on the internet, mate. Anyway.
It does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does in 2022.
So
anyway, especially sex terms.
Yeah.
The internet's built on sex terms. And there's on the internet twice. And we're saying, come on.
Anyway. So I agree with you. People should Google this stuff. I'm reminded of, I think it was Westpac who brought out their PayPig money-saving program.
So that one, it's obvious. All right,
so anyway.
Back on track.
So Disney's become a focal point in this. We never actually said why. So there's this law in Florida, where they think that, they're saying, oh, who's your husband? And they're like, well, yeah, we're salad queens.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening. They're saying, oh no, I'm gay. And the kids
I'm having a normal relationship with a person who is also normal.
And the kids are saying it's 2022. We understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2022. You don't have to just say you're gay. What are you guys, salad queens?
Yeah. What are you guys into? And also, like, kids notoriously do not give a shit.
Yeah.
Until someone tells them it's a problem or it's something that you should give a shit about, kids are like, oh, okay, I'm just learning a bit of new information. I don't have much information in my head, so this is a new thing for me. Great.
When you guys went to school, did you have any, gay teachers?
Yes, but none would have ever told us that.
Yeah. Did you care?
Because I didn't go to school in 2022.
Yeah. Did you care about it, though?
No.
Nah, same.
Oh, no, yeah, my school was pretty fucking brutal on one of our teachers. It was pretty upsetting to see.
Sorry.
To be honest, the casual homophobia that I notice even now living in a small town in New Zealand is pretty intense. So, yeah, a teacher in high school is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So this law is designed to solve this problem that doesn't exist. And we'll have the effect it has is, just to shut down any public life of gay people.
Yes.
And the reason that Disney's gotten involved is because originally Disney was supporting this law.
Right.
Yes.
It wasn't like that they were like, oh yeah, this one specifically, but they were totally in Florida. They were bankrolling campaigns for these pretty far right Republicans who were backing this stuff. And then people found out about that and they're like, that's fucked. And they're like, yeah, no, fair enough. And so they withdrew their support for these politicians. And so as punishment, I think the idea is that if the brand of Disney can be associated with pedophilia enough, that they, as a corporation, they'll be like, well, this is like the last thing that a company that sort of one of our main business models is having people dressed up as cartoons hugging children. This is the sort of thing we need to avoid being associated with. And so the idea is that they can be intimidated out of having any participation in this public square.
Does Disney own Fox News now?
I don't know. Do they own Fox News or is that its own thing?
They own Fox
Entertainment Group.
Yeah.
Have you seen this? I'm going to put a thing in the chat. Have you guys seen this fucking all the shit Disney owns?
They own a fair bit.
Right.
It's pretty vast.
If you're Googling it, if you had, we're going to say, what is it called? The company's Disney owns infographic.
Yeah.
Right. They own a lot. It's weird seeing Americans who are apple pie, 1950s when racism and this kind of thing was A-OK. Mickey Mouse is very much that. And it's weird seeing that being attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a result of this, they've started out with this thing that, because of this law, they're supporting grooming. but then they've sort of had to expand that because that's stupid. And so they're like, we've got to find some more stuff to back it up. And so then just, I guess the fact that Disney movies have got some basic representation of like different relationships and things more nowadays. They're trying to push back on. They're trying to push back on like any sort of gay representation in media. They don't want because they have this. I guess it all fits into the cultural Marxism conspiracy theory that there's this long march happening through cultural institutions to brainwash the children when they're young, and so that they'll grow up to be wokeisters.
Did they not just bring up all the shit in all the Disney movies in the past where like characters have got boners and there's dicks and stuff? And
they absolutely are.
Yeah, they totally are.
So I guess one of the things that didn't really help, and I'm not saying this person was wrong to do it, but LaToya Ravenow, an executive producer for Disney, which I'm sure there's thousands of executive producers for Disney, right?
Tens of thousands.
Yeah. She said, our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my, not at all secret gay agenda. I was just, wherever I could, just basically adding queerness. No one would stop me, and no one was trying to stop me.
Yeah, so I've seen that video. Like, that's all that they put in.
Yeah.
So there's none of the context.
Yeah.
Which is, she's talking about, having like two women holding hands in the background of a cartoon.
Yeah. She's not saying we're putting in salad queens. She's saying this character is gay, and it's not, because Disney over the years has been taken to task over having bad characters as queer coded. Their villains are all a bit, I guess, for lack of
a little fruity.
Yeah, campy and over the top and stereotypes that are associated with queerness, and they're quite often the villain. Think of Jeremy Irons, The Lion King.
Yeah.
And so she's saying we're actually having characters that are just part of the story.
Yeah, it's expanding representation for young people, because up until quite recently, it was only evil gay children that could really see themselves represented in Disney movies.
Absolutely. And we don't want to take that away from the evil gay children.
No.
But so you can see 100% how the cooked right in America have taken that and gone, see what they're doing? They're putting it into the movies.
It's funny, like some of the examples they give, they're like, there was a same-sex kiss in Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. And it's like, have you seen that kiss?
Probably
I don't remember it.
When I watched it, but I don't remember it, yeah.
Like, the funny thing is I've seen people talk about that in the queer discourse, because there's this same-sex kiss and then it cuts, it's there for 2 seconds or less, and then cuts to an alien just being like, ugh.
Yeah, that's right.
No thanks.
And it's, it's so interesting when you kind of unpack it in terms of we can't have that representation, but heteronormative representation we just don't think twice about.
Yeah.
And I think, it's kind of weird when you unpack it like that and you go, so what's your thinking by not showing them in there? And once you kind of start pulling at those strings, which again, they're openly basically saying anyway, and that's kind of comes back to my point of they're not even doing it subtly anymore. It's not a fringe thing. It's just them saying we can't show gay people and they can't talk about being gay. And yeah, that's fucking evil when you think about it.
I saw the weirdest thing when I was researching for this. It was like this sort of arch conservative YouTuber. It came out through PragerU, which is like a super right wing YouTube university. And they were talking about the whole Disney grooming thing, and they were comparing the new movie Turning Red with Mulan. So Turning Red is sort of about this young Chinese Canadian girl. She's going through puberty. It's set in the 90s. She's a massive pop star stan, and she's struggling with her identity in the sense that she feels obligated to her Chinese immigrant parents, but at the same time, she wants to live her own life, etc., etc. And they compare this to Mulan, which also goes into like issues of identity and stuff and obligation.
Mm.
But because I guess Mulan came out, years and years ago, they're like, this is the good message that's being sent in this movie about a woman who dresses as a man, goes undercover as a man to save her village or whatever, which I think actually, like if that came out now, they would be really angry about.
Yeah, they would use that as an example of the current state of it.
Yeah. But because it came out, 30 years ago, it's fine.
Yeah. So I read a whole bunch about this. Well, not a whole bunch, but some of the right-wing articles about this. I watched a long YouTube, I don't know, a really shitty right-wing guy that has hundreds of thousands of viewers. I can't remember his name. He's got long hair. He started off by saying how much the left loves outrage. Because you know how that's their catchphrase. While they're getting so angry about everything, angry at the state of the world, it's the left's fault for being super angry about things. They showed that video of the lady shaking. You know that famous triggered lady?
Oh, yeah.
When Donald Trump got in or something, I don't know the origins of it, and she's like, and that's on InfoWars use it all the time. If someone's having an argument with a lefty online, they'll use that GIF. I was like, how are you still using that as an example of the left being angry at things? 5-6 years after that, there's this kind of inbuilt rage that they're projecting with that. Then I got an ad for a bearskin tactical hoodie, which I thought was interesting. It's got 16 pockets. It's spelled BAER, bearskin tactical hoodie. But then I went into the comments of that and found a guy called Robert Fullone who does his own little YouTube short characters where he puts on an accent and it's always about how bad the left is. And he just does a fat bastard from, what's that movie, Austin Powers?
Yep.
And then, I'm in the left and I love grooming kids. And then he does another one in a different accent. It's really similar. I thought that was funny.
Well, I guess there's this idea that what they love to do is make up a character and get mad at it.
Yes.
But in this case, they're not even making up the characters. They just be Austin Powers characters and getting mad at them.
Yeah. But I guess my sort of, as I said, I read a lot and I watched this kind of long essay and really all it boils down to is they're just mad at gay people existing, right?
Yeah. Well, so this Don't Say Gay thing is not the only sort of legislation that is similar to this happening. There's other states that are trying to get this stuff through. And I don't know. I said this on my 3CR podcast as well. But it's if you look at some of the stuff that they're trying to shut down, where they're saying, they're grooming kids, and you look at what it actually is, and it's the lesson plan is, today we teach the children compassion and about empathy. And it's I don't know, it sort of seems a little evil.
It's the same as what's happening with the critical race theory, right? The thing that doesn't exist, but if they say, hey, white people did some pretty shitty things, they have a complete meltdown and try and ban teachers and get them fired and everything.
Well, it's also the critical race theory guy, Christopher Rufo, I think is also quite ingrained in a lot of this as well. And he is on record. He tweeted, what we're going to do is lie about critical race theory. We're going to make the brand of basic social justice so toxic by tying it to this thing we're making up that they're not going to be able to do anything. That tweet's still up. And when people are that, when people point out that tweet's still up, he'll fave it.
Yeah. Seeing them, I think with the critical race thing, you're seeing them, speaking at school board meetings about it and shutting them down and stuff. And the Proud Boys turn up. And I know we've said this before, America seems to have a problem with just letting anyone into any space to spew awful things.
Yeah.
Imagine someone in New Zealand or Australia going into a school board meeting and starting to rant about critical race theory. You'd be like, we're just going to stop this meeting now until you go. This is a strange thing. Whereas in America, it seems to be part of the meetings.
Yeah. Well, they also all have guns, so.
Yeah, they got the guns.
But yeah, the other thing is some of the anti-trans laws that they're looking to bring in. So we've seen a bit of anti-trans culture war happening in Australia during this election campaign, where they've tried to turn like women's sports into an issue. The big conservative issue of protecting women's sports.
Yeah, they've been doing it for years.
But like in the States, they started with that, then they do the bathrooms, and then. So one of the really annoying things I saw was in some of these articles about Disney stuff is they try and make out that anyone who's seeing what's actually going on is like a conspiracy theorist. So they're taking the language of conspiracy that gets used against them when they come up with these ideas like cultural Marxism and just projecting them back onto people. And they're like, they have this conspiracy theory that the Republicans want to, kidnap trans children. It's like they're bringing in laws in Texas where if a kid is trans, a teacher has to report it to Children's Services.
Yes, yeah. Right. They are literally trying to kidnap trans kids and openly admitting it.
But like the start of that is they're saying, we want to stop the medicalization of trans kids. So we don't want them going through hormone therapy because they're not old enough to make that decision, which is sort of problematic because by the time you are like old enough to make the decision, it's a little too late. If the decision that you wanted to make was to stop your how puberty is going, you sort of need to make that early on. And the fact is that trans kids do know what they want. Like the stats on detransitioning are like crazy low. Anyway, this is a bunch of cis white dudes, probably not the people talking about that.
We're getting into territory that we're dangerously ill-equipped for.
Massively ill-equipped for. But the thing is, they're like, that's one step of it. But then the next step is they want to completely knock out all of the social transitioning. So the fact that kids who are always, kids are generally pretty chill about their trans classmates. Understand that's actually not the case. But in a lot of places they are. But they want to stop a kid from being able to say, I am trans at all. And that's all they're doing. They're not going through any sort of medical procedure. They want to stop just them saying they're trans. And the idea is that if you can stop them saying they're trans, eventually they'll just give up this silly idea.
And we'll all live in a 1950s utopia.
Yeah.
So can we move on to the images?
Yes.
So I actually looked up a couple of them. So the one it's like what is it?
So are we talking about like in The Little Mermaid when there's dicks in the background and stuff?
Yeah. And then because I actually interviewed a guy that was involved. I read an article with a guy that was involved in a lot of those. Who like worked on many of these movies, and he's like, oh yeah, we put a lot of stuff in as jokes. A lot of stuff is just completely not, people are seeing stuff that's not there.
Yeah.
The one where they're on the train and it's going past a window and there's like a TV playing porn. Do you guys remember that one? It's like one of the mouse ones.
It's like the Rescuers Down Under or something like that.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we put that into an earlier edit as a joke. Like it was actually in there, but as a joke for us. And then when it was like remastered or something at some point, someone grabbed their wrong edit. The other one that they've been going on about is there was a Target gift card. Have you guys seen this Target gift card?
Oh, yeah, I did see this, but tell us what it was.
I forget where I read this, but it says, earlier this week, a photo started circulating on the encrypted messaging app Telegram featuring Mickey and Minnie canoodling on the front of a $100 Target Disney gift card. In the photo, Minnie is wearing a blue puffed sleeve dress. Yet in the post, which was shared to a conspiracy theorist channel with more than 50,000 followers, they saw something far more sinister.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Look. The first time I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that clearly looks like Mickey is holding a sex toy. And it's really hard to unsee.
Oh, it is.
It's really got going on. Yeah, really hard to unsee that one. But I mean, when you do look at it, you can see how they've made that mistake. But yeah, someone probably should have picked that one up. It's not evidence of anything, though.
No. Also, I think it might be evidence of the fact that they don't have all the stuff on the brain.
Yeah. And then this is also and I guess what happened now as a result of this is shitty news publications like The Sun in the UK pick up these, Disney hiding sex things and scenes stories and start running them again because they get easy clicks. And so they did one about the what is it? I can't remember the name of the movie again, but there's it looks like there's one of it's like a mouse that's got a little tail, and a bunch of beads fall. They thread the beads onto his tail, and then when he pulls them off, it looks like anal beads. He's pulling out anal beads, and so in the Sun it says the pair steal a bunch of beads in the film, and to avoid getting caught, thread the beads onto Gus's tail. Any sharp-eyed viewer would be forgiven for thinking it looks more like a sex toy. And it doesn't really. It just looks like exactly what they've made it to be. But again, what kid is watching that and going, maybe I should try that with my same-sex friend? Like, if they didn't already have that thought, that's not going to put that thought in their mind.
No.
If they did already have that thought, it might solidify it. And maybe it might, open up a nice relationship.
Now, speaking of groomers,
yeah,
the weird thing about this is that there are a whole bunch of people on the right who are associated with this grooming, hysteria, who are like openly just. Oh, who was that guy that we talked about the other day, Robbo? The salt and pepper guy.
Salt and Andrew pepper. Tate.
Like heaps of them are friends with Andrew Tate, who's just been arrested for sex trafficking.
If you look at, keep going.
There was like one guy who's like been quite central to this, and he just posted a photo the other day with his friend from Nexium, the literal sex grooming cult. It was like I think it was like the partner of the leader, so someone who's like deeply ingrained in the whole thing. And it's like one post is like, "Oh, we've got to do something about these groomers," and the next one's like, "Here I am with like a literal groomer." Yeah,
and I mean, you can kind of point out the hypocrisy and all this, starting at Donald Trump for the most obvious one, and his very, very cozy relationship with Epstein. But the more you sort of look at it from that lens, it's like, the only reason they want to stop this, again, is through absolute hatred for people that aren't straight white people.
Yeah.
And that's,
not so good. You know what I say to him? You know what I say to him? Knock it off.
Hey, put a bloody pin in it.
Yeah. Well, no, because that means you got to come back to it.
Give that a rest, son.
Yeah, chuck it out.
Wait a minute. Does put a pin in it mean you're coming back to it?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I always thought it was like you got a balloon and you pop it.
Putting a pin in it.
No, it's like you're putting it on a pinboard. Let's put that up there.
Okay. Well, I need to go back and correct a whole bunch of things.
I'm putting it.
I've been using that saying a lot. I've been kids fighting. I've been saying, "Hey, put a pin in it," and they go, "All right."
Then they fight later.
Yeah, they're going to go back and fight later. Hey, while we've been recording this, I've been scrolling through smoking GIFs or GIFs, trying to find what I thought was a Willem Dafoe inhaling a joint wide-eyed GIF or a cigarette wide-eyed. I cannot find it for the life of me.
Is that because you're looking for Matthew McConaughey smoking?
No, I found the Matthew McConaughey one. It's not the one I'm thinking of. I think I've been Mandelaed.
Oh, shit.
I'm now in a universe where the GIF that I have used before, I know I've used it on the internet, doesn't exist.
So there is Willem Dafoe, not a GIF, but there's Willem Dafoe smoking a cigarette, holding 2 oranges.
No, not that one.
One of them's moldy.
No.
Worryingly, when you search for Willem Dafoe smoking, it also comes up with Elon Musk smoking. Oh, they deep faked Willem Dafoe's face onto him.
So I don't know if anyone knows the GIF I'm talking about. Please add us at the Hypothepod because
also Elon Musk
sure that it exists.
Elon Musk did like a tweet about Ghislaine Maxwell, but like I guess trying to do like a meme thing, like memeing on her.
Yeah,
and because I guess the meme is that if you talk about Ghislaine Maxwell, they'll knock you off.
Yeah,
but Elon, it's sort of hard to tell like what someone with that many followers and so that many notifications, how much of the discourse around them is getting back to them, because he can't be in his ats looking at what people are sending him.
No.
Like it will just be this constant stream of content. You would never be able to pick anything out. So does he know that probably the most famous photograph of him is him standing with Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah. So I was reading about this the other day because right now on Reddit, our conspiracy, it's all pro Musk stuff.
Yeah,
which is fucking bizarre. But yeah, the explanation for that is that she photobombed him at a party, and he didn't even know she was there. which is probably a reasonable explanation given how it looks. But yeah, that's his explanation.
Yeah, right.
But also, like, he doesn't give a shit about any of that. He's just doing it to get the edgy fucking right-wing fuckwits on his side, right?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't actually care about anything but his company and making money.
No.
But for some reason, he seems to...
Doesn't seem to really care about making money either.
No, he seems to be trying to appeal to, like, I would say 18-year-old, 16-year-old right-wing teens on 4chan, but it's, these guys are adults now. Like, there's people in their 60s. But yeah, that's kind of... Yeah, that seems to be the only reason behind a lot of this right now.
So, yeah.
Anyway, more about that in the news, probably.
If that's grooming, we've had it.
Mm.
Well, because it's not grooming. But anyway.
This is a real shitty thing happening, and it sucks.
Yeah.
And it sucks that the QAnon world is just bleeding into literal politics discourse.
And give it about 2 or 3 years max before it's going to be an election issue in Australia.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Well, that's the show. People, you can find us at Hypothepod on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We are on Patreon. Thank you to Tammy, our Cook to $33 sponsor.
Thank you.
Robbo, where can they find you, mate, besides the bar, behind the bar at Shortjaw?
That's probably the only place you can find me at the moment. But at Shortjaw on all the socials, shortjaw.co.nz if you're, or shortjaw.com will redirect you there. That's about all I'm about at the moment.
Salty, where can we get you, matey?
At Saltmarsh on Twitter and The Salt on Twitch.
And you can get me at Sexenheimer on Twitter, and check out my other podcasts, Gather Around Me and Yeah Nah Pass Around. All right. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Don't worry about a thing, except if all our world leaders are alien reptilians. I said don't worry about a thing, except maybe the fluoride in our water supply contains mind-altering drugs. Don't worry about a thing, except whether or not Port Arthur was a false flag operation in which to disarm Australia. I said don't worry about a thing. I accept you can definitely hear John Lennon say I buried Paul at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever. Ooh, don't worry about a thing, except not only did Bush do 9/11, but he also keeps the planes out in Area 51, which, let's not forget where all of the aliens are. Don't worry about a thing, except Donald Trump is clearly a woman and you're just blind if you can't see that. Why don't you